Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey everybody, it's Alphonse. Welcome to 21 Questions. This is going to be a weekly podcast recorded within the confines of my car. And just in case you're hearing the wind wipers, it's because it's currently raining right now. Side note, I hate rain. But that's not going to be the theme of this episode. Before I go into the theme, let me go talk about what we do on this podcast. On this podcast, I basically have 21 questions they have to go through answering. And they're all centered around a certain theme. This week's theme, movies, because I love movies. And while I'm not completely a movie buff, I'm like 2/3 of the way there. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever ascend to that higher state of cinema watching. I don't even know where I'm going with that. Let's just get the show on the road. Anyway, question 1. What are your top 3 favorite movies of all time? Okay, so top 1, I'd have to say, arguably, Arrival, a movie that came out last year. So good. I honestly would be surprised if I go geek about it a lot throughout this show. Okay, so number 1, Arrival. Number 2, Inception. I want to just love the themes in the film, all the things they get to talk about, and plus it's just a fun watch on top of that. Lots of mix of cool concepts and some cool action. Would recommend. 3, Avengers. Because that movie, the movie's so well-rounded. It was the build-up. It was especially so cool being able to see it as it came out, because it was basically the culmination of so many things that were building up. And it just it felt like that much needed climax that felt so gratifying. So yeah, so those are my top 3. Arrival, Inception, Avengers, AIA. No, I don't know where, there's nowhere to go with that. Anyway, question 2. What is your favorite animated movie? Yikes. It's gonna be probably a Disney one. I don't really think about this too often, but it's gonna either have to be a toss-up. Alright, so it's either gonna be Zootopia or Aladdin, because I'm a big fan of both of those films for their own reasons. Zootopia is just this really clever film that I like watching, and it's really fun to watch. Same as Aladdin, plus Aladdin's a classic, and I'm a big fan of the villain in Aladdin. So yeah, Zootopia and Aladdin. Those are my go-tos. Question 3. Have you seen Mean Girls? Yes, I have. Question 4. If so, are you a fan of it? If not, what is wrong with you? Okay, I must confess, alright, I have not watched the film enough to quote it on a very regular basis. Literally, the main joke that sticks in my head is stop making fetch happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm probably terribly misquoting that. I'm sorry. I feel very neutral towards it. So yeah. Question 5. What is your favorite movie genre? Adventure and action. I just realized there's 2 of them. I'm gonna have to keep on having a bunch of choices and ties. I'm sorry about that, if that irks you, but that's just how I feel. I don't know, I'm just really fond of all the things that happen in action movies and adventure movies, especially if they have really good characters and plots you can attach yourselves to. Probably of the movies, action and adventure movies appeal to me the most. Question 6. Can you sing Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid. I cannot sing all of it, but I can sing a part of it. Honestly, no, all I can sing is part of your world. Yep, very anticlimactic, I know. Next, question 7. What is your favorite Disney movie? Okay, so actually now that I think about it, it is either going to be Aladdin, Zootopia. Yeah, actually we're just gonna keep it at that. My favorite Disney film is either Zootopia or Aladdin, for the same reasons that I alluded to during my favorite animated film question. Question 8. What is a movie that you cried to a lot while watching? This, alright, I was on an airplane when I got to watch this. It's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Oh, this movie's such a tearjerker. It's so tragic, mildly, pretty romantic actually, but the film, you definitely have to experience it. There's so many films out there that you at the very least have to experience, and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is one of them. Such a good film. Anyway, so that's my answer. That's the film that I cry to a lot. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Question 9. Who would you want to play as you in a movie? To this, I would say, I don't know, as of right now, the only person sticking in mind is Benedict Wong, because he's cool. He's a cool guy. I also the only movies that I've seen him in were The Martian and Doctor Strange. But I hear he's really good in a lot of the movies that he's done, so I should probably get to fixing that ASAP. Question 10. What is one movie that you could watch 1,000 times and never get tired of? I haven't done this before, but I feel like that Arrival would be that movie, because the film's so good and it leaves so much room for rewatch value, whether just to kind of appreciate the messages and themes the film communicates, and also because of other plot details that I'm not going to spoil, because you absolutely have to go watch Arrival. A film that it can more, with my own experience, verify its rewatchability of is The Avengers. Again, really well-rounded film. It just feels worth it after all the things that they built up in that film. So yeah. Question 11. Have you ever been to a drive-in theater? I have not. And I'm going to put that on my bucket list, because I imagine it's probably a pretty nifty experience that is worth seeing at least once. So yeah, I have not. Would like to. Question 12. What is your least favorite movie genre? My least favorite movie genre is body horror. I'm pretty averse to horror as is. I'm starting to warm up to certain films a bit better. Like, for instance, I haven't watched them yet, but I'd go watch Don't Breathe and the new It film, because at least those seem to have more substance outside of the most jump scare horror movies that come out these days. But yeah, body horror just especially, I don't want to see blood and gore, people's body parts, especially if eyes are pierced. The worst thing ever. Don't sign me up for that, or else I'm gonna be out. So yeah, body horror, I stray away from that so hard. That's not my jam. Question 13. Do you know the song If We Were a Movie by Hannah Montana? Yes, I actually do. Not on my own volition. My sister was a huge Hannah Montana fan, and so I just hear during that one special episode, if we were a movie, you'd be the right guy and I'd be the best friend that you fall in love with. And I'm not gonna sing the rest, because nope, we don't need that. So yeah. Question 14. What is the worst movie I ever seen? Hail Caesar! Screw the critics who adore the film for its tributes to Hollywood. I hate it. It's not even a movie. It's just things happen. There's no cohesion. And I will have to admit that there's certain individual scenes, particularly from Alden Ehrenreich, that I appreciate a lot. Like, individual scenes are good, but the movie's not even a movie. I wouldn't recommend Hail Caesar. So weird. So weird. Question 15. What movie do you think is super underrated? Arrival. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I personally think Wreck-It Ralph is underrated. I don't hear people talking about it, but I just find the film very endearing, really good message, and the movie's a lot of fun. I feel like people should be talking about it a bit more, in my honest opinion. Question 16. What factors do you take into account when considering whether or not to watch a film? At its base level, I will take into account people's opinions on the film, particularly from movie reviewers that I listen to on YouTube, and sort of to a degree Rotten Tomatoes. This is mainly just for films that are kind of standalone. Movies that are already that are like a sequel to a film, I will go on and see regardless of how people think about it. Just because honestly, a lot of fun is in forming your own opinions on things. Like, for example, Kingsman 2. Such a shame that it's not as good as the first Kingsman. And while I have very mixed feelings towards the film, I'm at least glad that I got to watch it so I could have my own perspectives on it. And fingers crossed, if they do a third one, they could be all like, yeah, go Kingsman 3, you're so much better than the second one. So I will take into account how people perceive the film before deciding to take the bait, go to a theater for it. However, I'm more inclined to just go and watch it anyway if the movie is a part of an ongoing series or universe of films. Question 17. How many movies have you watched this month? Aw, man. I haven't been able to watch any. Semester sucks really hard. And it's a shame I got to miss out on Blade Runner 2049. I honestly found the first film kind of weird. I've only did one watch of it, so maybe I just need to do a second rewatch and we can soak in the brilliance a bit more. But yeah, no, I was still looking forward to 2049. It's just a shame that I had to do a bunch of academic stuff. So yeah, I will be watching Star Wars The Last Jedi in December with some friends, and I'm super pumped about that. So yeah. Question 18. What movie are you most excited for right now? Star Wars The Last Jedi. The trailer just came out this past week, and oh, it's such a good trailer. Such a good trailer. I am looking forward to Thor Ragnarok, but I don't know if I'll be able to fit in the time for it. While Star Wars The Last Jedi, I'm a bit more certain of. So yeah. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Oh, so good, you have to watch it. Kind of disappointed that BB-9E, basically Dark Side BB-8, didn't appear in this trailer. Maybe they're saving him because he's going to do some super cool things. Or, worst case scenario, he could be hella anticlimactic. But I hope not. My first Funko Pop that I got was a BB-9E because he just looks so cool. Yeah, fingers crossed that BB-9E is cool. And fingers crossed that Star Wars The Last Jedi rocks my socks. Question 19. Are sequels ever as good as the first film? They can be. They can be. One film that I definitely feel is just as good as the first one is 22 Jump Street. I adored that film. It is definitely a worthy watch. I'd go watch it if no one else has gone watching it. Sometimes I find that there are certain sequels that are better than the first film, like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, because Rise was just a good time, but nothing much else. While Dawn actually started going to some like deep metaphorical stuff that was very exciting. Yes, the sequels definitely have the potential to be just as good, if not better, than past films. But you just have to make sure you make a good movie. That's really it, to be honest. 20. What is the last film you've seen? What is the last film I've seen? Oh, right, yeah, it was Kingsman 2. Oh, so disappointed that film wasn't as good as it could have been. Like, man, shake my head so hard to the left and right. What? And question 21. If your life was made into a movie, what would be the name of it? Let's name it What Am I Doing? Because that's 3/4 of how I feel every day of my life. Whew! And those are your 21 questions of the week. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to follow Silver and Scarlet, where there'll be more of this podcast and more musical juiciness maybe in the near future. I'll probably have to talk about that at some point. But for now, peace out. See y'all soon.